Good morning. I have a delivery going out to a restaurant. Normally, I plan ahead and I can get my orders to work together, so I wouldn't have my truck half full. This is a quarter cord. I would prefer to deliver a half cord, but remember, the principles that I follow would be I would rather deliver 2 quarter cords, because 2 quarter cords is worth more than a half cord. Today though, the springtime, the phone doesn't ring as much. We're a little bit more sporadic, so I'm taking up a half a load. But this is a general principle that I try to do to maximize my profitability. As long as I'm in charge of Ohio Woodburner, we will not be a non-profit organization. I have a second delivery going out today. I got my trailer on the charger. I'm laughing because I'm using my battery charger. I burn up my solar charger. I left it out in the rain and it's not waterproof. So that's okay. I'll just buy another one. Here we go. This is a full cord that's going out to a restaurant later today. I'm just, I'll pull the tarp back on it when it gets ready to go. And that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I had a mild calamity and it was with these doors. It's got the spring-loaded latch, and evidently I didn't have it pushed back far enough, and so now this is part of my pre-trip inspection, so you don't have to put a lot of imagination into what happened to me. And I'm going to get to that here in a second, because that is what I wanted to talk about today. The progress is still going on with the back 40, and this video is going to be a little bit out of sequence with that. Rain continues to be a problem. We had snow on Wednesday, and then Saturday and Sunday we were in the 80s, and it was hot. I was wishing for the cold weather. This is the weather I would love to have right now. We're about 50 degrees, except it just poured rain last night. This ground was actually starting to dry up, and it just rained and rained and rained. It has me worried about another wet May and June like last year, which just ruined, all my plans, put us in the hole with our logs coming in, because nothing was coming out of the woods. But here's what I want to talk about. My dad had a view of life that I still carry with me. He believed that there are two kinds of people in this world: those that work and those that don't. And he was a very proud laborer. He worked in the steel mill his whole life. After he was in the Army, he graduated high school, went to the Army, moved up here to Ohio, and worked in the steel mills for 46 years. He is very proud of what he did. He considered himself an iron worker until the day he died. So that work ethic, was put into me and to the family. All right, now he would he would tell you something different probably, but I always told him, Dad, I said, if I'm lazy, I'm the hardest working lazy guy you'll ever meet. But that was the way he saw things. And he wasn't just talking about lazy people though. You got to know Dad. He was talking about, the people that do the work. And then the people in the suits, that are pushing paper from this side of the desk to that side. All right. I feel the spirit of those words. Now we can split hairs on the practice, because people in suits, they leave their families every day just like the rest of us, and go spend the day at the office. But the spirit of what he is saying about labor, about working, about providing value and self-worth. Okay, this is a guy that grew up poor. He earned everything in life that he got. He was given nothing. He earned it all himself, and he did a pretty good job. He built his own house, and he raised a family, and he provided. He was a good man. He really was. But then along comes me to change things, because I see his vision. I do. All right, I live that vision, but I see things a little differently, because I believe that there are 3 kinds of people in this world. 3 kinds. So it's hard to argue with Dad on the way he saw the world. I kind of agree with him. But here comes his son, and I change things. It's just the way I am. I see something different here. I see the world has 3 kinds of people in it. think of it like this. Here is a busy intersection in New York City. Everyone's honking their horns. The cars are zipping through 100 miles an hour. And there is this lone elderly lady trying to cross the street. She's got her little purse, okay, and she's, walks like this. And the three kinds of people are as follows. A person will stop what they're doing, get involved, help that lady, make themselves vulnerable, put themselves at risk to help that little old lady across the street. Another person will walk by and pay no attention and act like they didn't even see her and just go on about their business. The last person will look around to see how vulnerable she is. They will push her down and take her purse. All right? Those are the three kinds of people that I see in this world. And let me tell you what, guys, I met one of them last week dealing with this near calamity that I had with my trailer. So here I am. I take the highway for my one delivery, and I take my trailer. And I take a little side country road that gets me out to the highway. And what the heck? I look in my rearview mirror, and about half of my load has just been scattered all over the road, both lanes. There's no one that could get down the road. And it was embarrassing. I was in a panic. I backed my trailer up as far as I could, to hop out of my truck, and I just start kicking logs off the road, off to the side of the road so cars could get by. And then I was picking them up and running back and forth like a crazy person, trying to get all these logs put back into my trailer. That door popped open. I showed you that latch, whatever. I didn't make it snap, I guess, when I pushed it in, and it vibrated open, and I had about 100 sticks of firewood trickling out, and I'm just scattering them down the road. So during this whole calamity, I look up, and there are two young ladies, high school aged ladies, in their Sunday clothes, because it was Sunday. And they hopped out of their car, and they're helping me. They are picking up, and they're wearing heels, and they're picking up firewood off of the road, and they're throwing them into the back of my trailer. And I was just blown away. And I was thinking, here is person number one. This is the person that stopped what they were doing. They got involved, and they helped the person who was vulnerable, which was me. My name is on the side of the truck. It was embarrassing. I had the whole road closed because I could not secure my load properly, but I've taken steps. Now I've added making sure that back gate is closed as part of my pre-trip inspection. What a great thing, to see and to witness. And as it turns out, I knew these were sisters. I knew their dad. And I called him up and told him about how proud he should be about his daughters. And he was just so excited to hear that. And I was so excited to see, that there are still, people like this. And I know I shouldn't say still. There are a lot of good people out there. And I happened to run into a couple of them. But I was thinking too, when I'm sitting there with all my firewood on the side of the road, that's when you start thinking about the other types of people in this world. The ones that would just drive on by and pay no attention. And others that would get my name off of the side of the truck and call me to, say that I damaged their car and I owe them a set of tires because, they damaged their tires as they drove past my firewood, which did not happen. But, that's the kind of three people in this world. I think the most popular person is that second person, where they see a problem, they see a person who is vulnerable, a person in need, and then they just drive on by and pay no attention. And I know for a fact that I have that person in me too. And I think that the majority of us do, because we've all done it. We've all come out of the grocery store and see a person holding up their jumper cables in the air in the parking lot. And, we get on our phone and pretend that we didn't see them and we go on by. We've seen cars with flat tires onto the side of the road and we didn't stop. We had other things that was going on, or we just didn't want to get involved. It's none of our business. So that is what really hit home for me, was two young ladies, and you got to think too, they are in their Sunday best, a weird looking man running up and down the road, trying to pick up the firewood off the road and put it in the back of his trailer. But they stopped and they helped. That is what so impressed me about the situation that I was in, and that the way that people react. So I see that too in the way that we do business, because let's be realistic here. You start business because you want to make money, and you operate in your own self-interest. Yes, you're providing a service. Yes, you are going to do everything you can to satisfy customers, but ultimately you're doing it, for yourself. You're doing it in your own self-interest. But does it necessarily always have to be like that? And I don't think so. There are times where you go above and beyond to take care of your customers. There are times where you do things that don't make sense to your profitability. You do it just because it's the right thing to do. Doing the extra mile for that elderly customer that you have, answering your phone at 11 o'clock at night because one of your best customers lost power and they're out of wood and they need something to get some heat, through the next couple of days. There's also, unfortunately, a lot of room out there for some of these, the people that would push the old lady down and take her purse. And you see it when there's a world event, a war going on, and you have gas stations that are raising their prices to $5 a gallon, or an extended power outage, and the firewood company is now selling, well, that's nice looking firewood. The firewood company is now selling their firewood for $1,000 a cord. The people out there who are looking to make a buck at the expense of another person's misfortune or another person's misery, and I don't even think, there is a business here in the Mahoning Valley, a very well-respected business, and their business is to help customers, that have had fire damage or water damage to their house. That's not exploitive. I don't think they are taking advantage of anyone. They're providing a service to a person that's in, that really needs it. It would have taken like just a regular contractor, that does home improvements, that goes around after a storm goes through, and they're charging an arm and a leg, to repair a house for something that they would have done, for $1,000. And now all of a sudden they're charging $10,000. That is the type of people that are out there in the business world, out in the public, that the way I see it, the three kinds of people. And I know that I am between person one and person two. You better believe it. I will help someone if they're in need, no questions asked, right? But, there's times too where, you drive on by and you didn't see them. It's just the way we are. And I know that I'm not putting myself out on an island there, because we're all like that. But I hope that none of you are ever like person number 3, where you see a person who's vulnerable and you see a chance to make a buck, or a chance to profit off of a person who is in dire straits. And that is what I've come away with, guys. In a moment of vulnerability, when my firewood is laying scattered all over the road, I ran into some very good people, and it makes me want to be an even better firewood delivery service. So there you go. I hope you guys like this, and I hope to get back on my regular schedule in my back 40, and we'll get some dry days here, and we'll be able to start getting everything set up, and I will take all of you along for the ride. I really appreciate everyone. I hope everyone has a great day.